Welcome to Real Talk Columbus, discussing today's market trends and answering your questions. So today I'm going to discuss my pick for the top 3 investor-friendly neighborhoods in the general Columbus, downtown Columbus area. Um, so there's all kinds of different criteria that we consider when we're talking about great places to invest in, and it's going to be based on what type of investment do you want to do. Are you going to hold a property for rental for a long time? Are you going to try to flip it and make money off of it really quickly? Or do you want to buy something in an established neighborhood that you expect to appreciate really well over time? Are you hoping for faster appreciation? Do you not expect to get any appreciation and you just want a lot of cash flow? There's all kinds of things we can consider. So I've just picked out some basic criteria that would be good for several different types of investments. And I want to talk to you about each of these neighborhoods individually based on some statistics and some things that I'm considering to tell you why they might be a good area to look if you're thinking about doing residential property investment. So the first criteria that I use is where are the established neighborhoods and the established values, and how these other neighborhoods that could be appreciating faster how are they in conjunction to the established neighborhoods. So we're going to look at that here in a second. The other thing I'm looking at is the average price per square foot, the change in the minimum versus the maximum average price per square foot in a very defined geographic area. Is there a vast difference? Is there an opportunity for you to get value and then turn around and sell it for a much higher value? And the last criteria I'm looking at is where are the developers going? What's changing in the different neighborhoods? For example, residential developments, apartment buildings being built, commercial developments, businesses, places that are bringing in jobs, places that are bringing in attractions like restaurants and bars and all of that stuff. So without further ado, I will get to my top 3 picks. And the top 3 picks are not Old Town East, but the outskirts of Old Town East, particularly on the eastern and southern borders and the northern border of the Old Town East neighborhood. My second pick is Southern Orchards, which is east of Parsons and south of Livingston, very, very close to German Village, but not German Village. And then my third pick is Merion Village, which is directly south of German Village. Now, you'll notice something about all 3 of those neighborhoods. They're in the same general area, and they're tied to a more popular neighborhood. In fact, take a look at this list that the Columbus Underground put out recently, where they surveyed residents about the most popular neighborhoods in Columbus. Your top 2 are German Village and Old Town East. So when you see those neighborhoods, you know how popular they are, and you see the prices in those neighborhoods, you know that prices are rising and people are getting actually priced out of those areas. So the neighborhoods that are directly nearby that are comparable tend to benefit from that because you can get a better value, and the values tend to appreciate following that more popular area. So all 3 of those neighborhoods do meet that criteria. The second criteria I mentioned was the difference between the values, the price per square foot on the minimum versus the maximum. And I ran the numbers, and I'm looking at Old Town East. The minimum is about $30 a square foot. The maximum is about $250. If you look at Southern Orchards, it's a little different. The minimum is about $15 a square foot. The maximum is around $203 or so. And the Merion Village area, a little bit higher minimum at $71 a square foot, but a much higher maximum as well at over $300 a square foot. So there's a huge difference in what kind of value you can get in those neighborhoods, and hopefully you can do some appreciation over time, plus maybe some added value, forced appreciation in those residential areas as well. Now, the last criteria I mentioned was property development. So I'm going to show this map real quick of some of the things that are being developed in these three different areas. I actually pulled this off of the Columbus Business Journal. It's an interactive map showing the different developments. You know, you've got things in Old Town East, new condo complexes being developed. The Children's Hospital in the Southern Orchards area is a huge developer building offices and all kinds of other things. You've just had a great new development in Merion Village at the Barrett School, which had apartments and single families. So there's a lot going on in those three neighborhoods. And I would encourage you to keep an eye on the new developments as you're thinking about areas that you might want to invest in, because that can play a huge factor into how quickly home values appreciate in a certain area. So those are my three picks. Keep in mind that the best investment for you could be very different based on the type of investment you want to make and the type of long-term or short-term outlook that you have for that investment. Hopefully this information is helpful, and let me know if I can provide you any other info.